4th grade. Today we're going to make another video. This one is going to be problem set 12, and today we are going to start in with multi-step problems, which means more than one step. So it's going to have maybe 2, maybe 3 things that I have to do before I get to my final answer. All right, so let's get started. Let's do this one together. It says estimate and solve each problem. Estimate. Well, I know that I've been estimating already using either my strategy of my number line or the strategy of figuring out what my bossy neighbor is trying to tell me. Estimate and then solve each problem. Model the problem with a tape diagram. So remember, a tape diagram looks something like that. Explain if your answer is reasonable. So reasonable means, does it even make sense? All right, here we go. For the bake sale, Connie baked 144 cookies. Esther baked 49 more cookies than Connie. About how many cookies did Connie and Esther bake? Estimate by rounding each number to the nearest 10 before adding. So before I add, because I know I need to figure out how many they made together. But first I'm going to estimate. All right, so Connie, well, she made about, and that symbol means about. It is not equal to. It is about, let's see. I'm going to use my strategy here. Nearest 10. So I'm looking at that middle 4. Well, what would be my next number up if I do need to round up? All right, so I'm thinking, is 144, is it closer to 140 or is it closer to 150? And I'm thinking it's going to be here at 144. So Connie made about 140 cookies. Okay. Esther, well, Esther made more. She made about, let's see, 140 plus, let's see, I'm going to estimate this number, 49. So I'm going to say to the nearest 10 place, let's see, 49. Well, either this 4 changes or it stays. So if it stays, it's closer to 40. But if it changes, I'm going to say it's closer to 50. Let's see. Where would 49 be? Oh, 49 is going to be right here underneath 50. All right. So, are you ready? Esther made 140 plus about 50 cookies. That's going to give me 190 cookies. So Esther made about 190 cookies. All right. Then it says, estimate by rounding each number to the nearest 10 before adding. So I've estimated, but now I need to add. All right. So 140 cookies plus 190 cookies. So that's going to give me about 330. Right, so I have 330 cookies, but remember, that is just my estimate. I'm just estimating about how many cookies did these 2 ladies make. All right, so when I come down here, step 2, it says, exactly how many cookies did Connor and Esther bake. So now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to take the exact numbers. So if you remember, this is actually going to be Connie. Connie made exactly 144 cookies. Well, how many did Esther make? So Esther made 144. But she made more. How many more? Well, 149 to be exact. So I need to think, how many did Esther make? So I have to do a little bit of math here. 144 plus 49. Do you see how I made sure that my ones places lined up? All right, so that's going to be a 13. That's going to be a 9, and that's going to be a 1. All right, so Esther made 193 cookies. Connie made 144. So now I'm going to ask myself, well, now I've got to figure out how many did they make together. All right, so here's Connie. She made 144 cookies plus what Esther made, which was 193. So 144 plus 193 cookies, and that is going to get me 337 cookies. That is exactly how many they made together. So Connie and Esther baked cookies together. Well, how many do they bake together? 337. All right, so now down here, last part to this problem, it says, is your answer reasonable? Reasonable means, does my answer even make sense? Compare your estimate from A to your answer from B. Write a sentence to explain your reasoning. That's my thought process. So when I estimated, well, I said they made about 330 cookies. And then when I added up my exact numbers, I said they made about 337 cookies. So I'm thinking my answer, which was 337 cookies, is reasonable. Because my estimate from, remember it's up here, from A is 330 cookies. So 337 is very close to 330 cookies. So, yeah, I'm thinking my estimate was reasonable, but also my answer was reasonable. All right. So as you turn the page, remember that indeed you're going to have to think, how many, this problem's talking about tickets. How many tickets were sold? Figuring out how many tickets were sold to students than to teachers, okay? Then you have to figure out, right here it says about how many. So you need to figure out how many tickets were sold to teachers and then estimate, because right here it says round each number to the nearest 100 to find your estimate. So then you're going to need your students. And then you're going to need your parents. Okay? All right, so you have to think, how many tickets were sold to teachers? How many tickets were sold to students? and how many tickets were sold to parents. And then you've got to estimate.